This just in. Court Cousins and the Six-Man Show have agreed to a trade. Court Cousins sending out Jason the Pichet and an old bag of balls and bringing back Luke Sylvia and a studio light. Let's head to the Court Cousins to get their reactions.
Hey, look, I'm shocked about this trade. I thought Court Cousins was a 50-50 thing. I don't really know how this happened. I'm excited to be going at least along with the old bag of balls because clearly Kyle doesn't need the balls. He has a lot of balls making a move like this. He's always been wanting that extra studio light, so now he's got that. And he's got another guy that can be the crazy dude, I guess. Luke's a good dude, nothing against him. But, man, I guess I'm excited to join Jonathan in the Six-Man Show. Maybe we'll call it the Seventh-Man Show now. I don't really know how it all works. Really disappointed. The studio is going to look pretty bare, buddy. Also not sure what name you're going to go with when you just got rid of your cousin and your Court Cousins. Good luck with that. On to the Sixth Man.
This move might come as a surprise to some, but the writing's been on the wall for a while. You just might not have seen it because it's so damn dark in this studio. Pich hates the light. He's like a vampire in that way. And, much like a vampire, he sucked the life from this show. Now, we're going to have a nicely lit studio with a true creative genius and Luke Sylvia sitting across from me. At the end of the day, it's a business, and we had to make the best business decision for the show. And let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, it's an exciting new era of Court Cousins. Shit, I'm gonna have to workshop that name.
Welcome, everybody, to Court Cousins, episode 37. My name is Kyle. I'm joined, as always, by my lovely co-host, the handsome Jason, the Pich.
Wow.
We've got a solid show for you, ladies and gentlemen.
Solid.
Again, expectations, setting expectations.
Right. There was a lot of wet cement earlier, but it's hardened and it's now solid.
We're going to check in with each other for our Chuma Are You OKK check-in. Pich will run down what I learned in the recent stretch of games. We'll scour the interwebs for your posts about our beloved Orlando Magic. Then we will step into the trade cage and do Pich's favorite thing, talk about hypotheticals. We're going to explain a new idea for the Court Cousins Championship, and we'll finish it off. You better not go anywhere for the large ending.
For as unexcited as I am for Trade Cage, I am excited about this new format for the championship. So excited to tell you about it.
All right. So we're on our way to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. If you haven't, please click the little red button. About half of you right now, you bastards, you haven't done that. It would be a great help. We only need 100 more, Pich. We've been on the march here for the last month. We're so close. Now we're 100 away. We'd greatly appreciate the support.
Hey, I'm grateful for those that have jumped on. We have a huge rise in the last month or so as we've been asking. So we continue to ask.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll reach that goal soon.
Please, sir, I'd like some more.
It'd be nice to reach the goal before we hit Orlando for Court Cousins night next.
That's kind of my goal. I didn't want to speak it, but now it's spoken into existence.
That's what I do.
Can you
here.
help us to reach 1,000 subscribers before we're down in Orlando?
Right.
Thursday, February 23rd, we're going to be at the Pistons game for a Court Cousins night, Court Cousins gathering, whatever you want to call it. You can get tickets at fivo.me/Court Cousins. We're not getting anything out of this. This is just us getting a group of people. Yeah, well, yeah, I mean, we're getting joy from it, but it's not like we're getting a cut or anything. This is not like a money-making deal for us.
Nope.
It's hopefully just a way that we can all come together, sit in the same section. The Magic have been nice enough to help us out if we're, to go on the court after, cut down the nets, possibly get us some things to give away. We've already purchased some things to give away, a couple jerseys. I got some shot glasses, some socks, all types of things that we're just going to be giving away for free to folks that come out.
Cards. I'm bringing cards.
We'll have tons of stuff. It's going to be a good time. We'll have some beers. We'll go to the game. Fun was had by all.
I mean, you couldn't have said it any better right there. It's a great opportunity for you to get in at a cheaper price, that alone. Even if you don't feel like talking to us or you don't even watch the show that much, just get in the game cheaper.
There you go. Be
a part of something.
Yeah, it's going to be a good time. And Pich and I will be there for the Saturday game as well. But that's not a sexy deal like we have. And of course, we'll be filming the whole thing. So you'll be featured on an episode.
I'm gonna wear a full uni, so it's gonna be sexy. It's gonna be the white legs.
Are you talking about the Special K?
That's your
That's
thing.
my special?
Yeah, that's a
Check out the last episode, and you may get some of that too, ladies
different
and gentlemen. Play your cards right. Doo-doo-doo. All right, let's get right into it, Pich. I know you're not excited about the hypotheticals, but you're pumped about the new Court Cousins championship stuff. How else are you doing for the Chuma Are You OKK check-in?
Well, I found this selection here of Chuma OKK guarding Mr. Steph Curry.
Yes.
And as we've known from several memes and actually watching him play basketball, there's probably no man tougher to defend than Steph Curry. He makes you work all night. He makes you follow him everywhere. And then he still drops 33. And yet still sometimes you feel like he did a good job. So this is kind of me right now. I'm just working.
You are.
I got 2 jobs. I'm working some weird hours. I'm working a ton this weekend. But, it's all about trying to get that paper. In the ice making world, there's a small area of time. It kind of ends in like March, April, May-ish. If our team makes the playoffs, maybe it goes to June. But
Go Bridgeport Sound Tigers.
Well, they're the Islanders now.
Sound Tigers.
But anyway, that aside, I'm just I'm in the trenches. I'm working. I'm showing up every day. And even if Steph Curry is dropping 33 on me, I know I'm doing the best I can. And that's what Chuma always does on defense, to his credit. And that's kind of what I'm doing out here today. It's a couple months away from being able to like kick back, relax, and be a different kind of Chuma. But right now, I'm ready.
Are you feeling okay? Are you feeling okay with all that work? Are you feeling overworked? Are you feeling stressed at all?
No, I feel good with it. It's stuff I'm comfortable with.
Right,
It's not,
okay.
Nothing's being given to me that's out of the scope of what I can do and willing to do. It's maybe a little less sleep than I'd like some days. And the sleep schedule gets off a little bit, but,
Okay, as long as you're okay.
I was going to say you're only young once, but I'm not. So
Yeah, you're still a spring chicken, sir. All right, as long as you're feeling good, I'm happy about it because now that you're doing the ice for the Bridgeport Islanders, Sound Tigers, I'm trying to sneak in for them discounts soon. Holler at us, Rocket Mortgage Arena.
All right. How are you feeling for the check-in? Is it?
I have a blue and aquamarine Chuma OKK superimposed over an Alex Gray painting. Some of our psychedelic second cousins out there might be more familiar with Alex Gray's work. He's definitely a kind of not hallucinogenic, but a spiritual painter who does experiments with hallucinogenic drugs and things, and
this painting
along
creepy.
those
I can't
lines.
look at this picture.
It is a little creepy. It is a little creepy. But I went to a spiritual retreat this past weekend, and I definitely had a come to God moment. I saw God in a different way. I saw some shit, and I tried to bring it back. I tried to have the breadcrumbs lead me back, and so that I can access that place whenever I want.
Yeah.
And I think I was doing a better job. It gave me a little bit more gratitude, although I just got into a fight with my girlfriend about the laundry. So I thought I was enlightened.
Can verify.
And I'm not. But it was still, it helped me to realize that was just a silly fight. It helps me to really appreciate the things that I'm grateful for. Number one, my mother and my father, and then my family, you, my lady, Nadra downstairs, even when we fight about laundry. It just makes me, I see having that experience this weekend put things into perspective a little bit. And I think that it's good to have those experiences throughout the year if I can kind of recenter myself, because more than anyone else, you're working nonstop. And in teaching, it gets really stressful. It gets going, and I need to kind of take a step back sometimes and reground and recenter. And whatever that might be for you, for Alex Gray, it might be some hallucinogens. For someone else, it might be going to church. For another person, it might be a meditation retreat or doing some woodwork, whatever it is.
Yeah.
I hope you're finding it out there and finding some balance and some centering.
Well, you need balance and centering when you work with children. They're some of the worst people on the planet are children. And that's your job, is literally trying to teach them every day. And I have to interact with children at my job way less. I couldn't imagine doing it any more than I do. If you're a coach, if you're a teacher,
That's true.
If you're leading young people down a good path, you're a better human than I am.
No, I think the teenage boy is the worst version of human on the face of the planet. And I forgot, Pich, we got to talk about some of the best humans. I just want to shout out really quickly.
Oh, you forgot about our
Patreons.
Our Patreons. Unbelievable.
Our all-stars and second cousins, Omid Sabrikani, sorry about that. Rafael Perez, Breadhead, Al from the Ozone Pod, Matthew Bell, Dan Young, Yachty, Bernie Pichet, Gloria and Damien, Connor and the Polish Wonder.
Oh, let's get ready to rumble!
Yes!
Yes, the Royal Rumble's coming up soon, so that's
fantastic.
That's a shout out.
I was wondering when that shout out was going to be coming. That's a big
Been
one
on the list for a while.
Okay, that's big.
I was waiting till Royal Rumble season.
You know what? I think you just upgraded this show from solid to above average.
Okay. I thought it was going to re-moisten somehow. But
All right, now, Pich, run down on the road trip. You saw more of it than I did because your boy gets up early and was asleep, so I didn't watch a lot of these live. Did watch them on repeat. But tell me, Pich, what did you learn from the West Coast Roadie?
well, first off, I learned that Golden State has issues. Magic went in, got the dub there. Second, probably most important about this, what I learned is I learned how to record and post the post-game wrap-ups. You set me up here, and then I got to do the Sacramento and the Portland game, so check those out on YouTube if you haven't already, and you want a little more detailed blow-by-blow of what happened in this game. Real quickly, I'll just say Sacramento is really good, and I know at one point on some version of this podcast, maybe it was live, maybe it was not, I gave Darren Fox, I said, I don't know if you're not ready to be a star yet. Definitely is there now. Mark him down. Star. Probably should be at the All-Star game. He's nice. Sacramento's playing really well. And they put it on us. We just ran into a train that was going too fast to jump on.
I like that you're able to admit your mistakes, Pich.
Anytime that I'll call somebody out here, I want, if they change my mind, I have no point. I have no problem saying
you're right,
mistakes
because
were made.
the whole purpose about the hate that you're providing is to make them great.
To motivate.
Yeah. Okay.
Even though in this case, I'm pretty sure Darren Fox did not see that and was already like, hey, idiot, I'm balling out here. You watch. And after I did it for like another month, I'm like, all right, you got me.
So you just hated on yourself a little bit there by saying that he's not watching this pod. Was that to motivate you on the pod? Are you doing some self-hate to motivate right now?
I mean, no, not really, because I don't think Darren Fox, I don't think we're in his... He's not in our demographic.
We are.
I don't think he's going to watch it.
Well, he's a Kings fan, so he probably watched your wrap-up, dude.
I've met some decent... I've started talking to some people from the Sacramento community as a result of that wrap-up.
Oh, all right.
Actually, some good folks.
Hell yeah.
I like that they light the beam.
Yeah.
And they're in the Western Conference, so I really don't have any beef with them. Go Kings in the West, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, you can't hate a team that hasn't been to the playoffs in 16 years.
I could. Well, I choose not to.
Okay. All right.
Don't tell me what I can. Don't tell me where I take my hate. So then, the next game, Portland, they're good as well. But you could tell the Magic were on a mission. This was the second game of a back-to-back. You could just see they had a little fire, like getting their ass kicked by the Kings kind of was like, hey, we're not this team anymore.
Yeah.
You know, like that's the team of last year. And a little earlier this season, it would happen occasionally. But I like that we bounced back with a good game and a good win. Fourth quarter, Franz was there taking over.
Oh, yeah.
And it was just one of those games that it's like good to see the team respond on the road trip, right in the middle of it. You had no reason to bet on the Magic in this game to even cover the spread. And yet they went in and got it done against a good Portland team. So that was really great. And then again, these next two games, almost similar, right?
Tough,
both of them, losing them both close at the end. Real quick on Denver, Jokic. He's so smooth, right?
Yeah.
And his just talent level is just outrageous, which is why he's won these MVPs. Because you look at him and you're just like, that's not an athlete. If you saw this man, aside from his height, there's no way you'd assume this guy could even be in the league, let alone be its MVP
Two-time.
for 2 years running, and potentially a third with the way he's playing. I have to wonder if he had the kind of work ethic that some guys have to make the NBA, whether he could be even greater, right? Like some guys come in the league and they're just blessed with talent, right? And they can just kind of coast by with the talent and they don't have to hit the gym all the time and they can kind of do what they want and they're good. See, like, Luka Doncic has talent.
Yeah.
But he looked a little sloppy and everyone would picked on him about it. And then in the offseason, he's like, oh, I'm going to hit the gym. And now he's killing it at another level, right? Like Giannis had talent, But man, that guy got in the gym, worked, created, made himself into a completely different dude. If you look at this guy in his rookie card to what he looks like now, he's a different human being, right? So he went in, he put in the work because he had to work. So sometimes if you have that combination, that's what makes a true superstar. But Jokic's talent level is so good. Work ethic, be damned.
So you're
I'm
implying
just this nice.
You're implying he's never been to a gym.
I know he walks through them on the way to practice. But
someone told me once that you asserted that the man doesn't even carry his own groceries. That's
probably
with
not.
those arms.
Probably not. But he doesn't need it. He's blessed.
Dude.
He's blessed. He's talented.
The Serbians are going to get on us again, dude.
No, man. I'm giving this guy a compliment. I'm saying he might be the most talented player, pure talent I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Other guys have to do a lot of work ethic or add some combination of the two to get to and stay where they're at. And I'm mostly just seeing talent. He's not fast.
No.
Right? He can't jump. Like, he doesn't have a lot of the same, talent level things you'd expect out of a player. It's not just a looks thing. It's an actual
skill.
Production thing.
Well, that's why I'd flip it. I would say he doesn't have the talent, but he has put in the work to gain the skill.
I think he's just got the skill level. He knows where his teammates are. It's all brain.
Oh, he's just cerebral.
It's all brain.
Yeah, okay.
All right, that's enough Jokic talk. He's good. He's good. We knew he was good. Now new level.
Now you know he's gooder. Yeah.
But this is another point to be made on those two games. We lost them both in the last second. Some people are like super bummed about it. I'm not. I'm like, hey, we're in those games.
Yeah.
We're on the road against tough Western Conference opponents. The last two games of that road trip, playing well. That's what I need from this team if they want me to keep watching them. Less of that Sacramento blowout stuff. And we saw a lot of those last year. I couldn't do a whole nother season of that. I like us being in games. We don't need to win all these games this year. I don't expect us to. This is the kind of thing that I wanted to see from our squad. We went on this West Coast roadie, playing tough teams in their house. We won 2 of the 5 games, and we were in 4 of the 5 games.
Yeah.
Love it. That's what I expected from this season. I know that's not a high expectation, but when you're doing a rebuild, this is exactly what you need. And to continue my thoughts on that rebuild, you're seeing not only us, we've known, Franz, Paolo, gonna be some cornerstones. The league's talking about it. People in sports are covering, and they're realizing that Franz and Paolo is a nice 1-2 down in Orlando now, and they're talking about it. And we're getting on people's radar. That's part of a rebuild too, right? You're changing the mindset. You're letting everybody know Orlando's coming to town, not just an easy dub for us tonight. We're gonna have to work. They got some dogs on the team, and they're ready to go. And I love that because that's a biggest part of the mindset is changing everyone else's opinions of what they see in Orlando. It's going to make free agents interested in coming. It's going to make people want to resign. It's going to make people start to take Central Florida with a little bit more respect than just coming to check out Mickey Mouse. You know what I mean? And that's what we want, right? We want to change that vibe, and I think it's happening. And this West Coast roadie really helped that, even though there's only 2 wins out of 5. Take a look at those positives. There's a lot of good stuff to turn and look at to see what's good. So I liked what I saw. I don't think there's anything else that I learned because that's it, Brad.
All right. Well, thank you.
Ring the bell. School's out.
Thank you. Thanks. Heading home, heading right onto Twitter, as the kids do. Right when the bell rings, they take out their phones.
Sometimes they're on it in class and you don't catch it.
Well, I'd like to think I'm better than that, Pich. All right. I'd like to think I'm like an assassin in there, a ninja, if you will.
All right.
No one's taking their phone out in Mr. Langett's class.
I'm pretty sure you were doing some prep at work, but I guess it's okay for you.
Kids had a half day. Shut up, Pich.
All right.
Shut up, Pich. Trying to get
I
me
saw some
fired
things
out
move
here.
around in here. I was like, wait a minute.
So much like the kids taking out the phones, getting on the social medias. That's what we're doing right now in the social media roundup, scouring the interwebs for your posts about our beloved Orlando Magic. And I've got to start with a big shout out to the 6-Man show. Had Nikola Vucevic on, Magic legend, and they had a really juicy question that kind of took off in the Magic community specifically. If Nikola Vucevic, actually all over the place, if Nikola Vucevic would ever consider a reunion with the Orlando Magic. And he said unequivocally, absolutely. And it's something not only that he considered, but it's something that he has been considering and something that has been on his mind, that he definitely wants a return before the end of his career. Pich, I mean, I know you just talked a lot. You've got some strong emotions on this.
But we're mid-season, and you're still playing for the Chicago Bulls.
Yeah, it was a bit
It
odd.
feels like tampering that they even asked, because these guys have a relationship with the Magic at this point. I don't know how this got. This just feels under the radar. Like they somehow got away with this, and it's just out there in the zeitgeist. And it's amazing. It's cool, definitely, that they, get to have players on their show and talk to them about various things. I don't want Vooch to come back to the Magic. I guess I'm probably in the minority on that. I just
This fucking guy.
I don't see where he fits on this current squad.
God.
And like he's part of the old past and the losing past, and I'd just rather leave that behind. If he wants to come back, if he wants to come back and sign and then retire just to retire a Magic,
that's kind of what
fine.
he was talking about.
If that's all
what
he
he's
wants,
talking
then
about.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, that's what he was talking about.
all right.
It's not coming back with this iteration of the Magic. We wouldn't have the space for him on the salary cap, and nor would we want it. I mean,
okay, good. Well, I think we're on the same page.
No,
here.
we're on the same page here.
Right.
I don't want him back for whatever it's going to cost, like $20 million plus a year. 20 to 30 million. I don't know what he's making on his current contract, but it's not. It wouldn't behoove this team. Although we could use the things that he brings. Some shooting and a good backup big.
Well, he's got to take a huge discount if he thinks he's going to come sit on our bench.
That's why I'm saying it's not happening in in the next 5 years. But it's going to be that kind of
if he
in
can
the
get
twilight of his career.
Yeah.
His last couple of years, maybe last year.
Okay.
Sign with us right off into the sunset.
Yeah, lay on the bench, do some Robin Lopez shit, chop it up with stuff. I'm down.
Absolutely.
Come on back.
Okay.
We're on the same page. It's got to be for way less and not right now.
No, we don't have. We'll talk about it a little bit more in the trade cage, but we're not in the position to be bringing a guy like Vooch who's about to get. This is the end of his contract. Gonna want a new contract. We're not in a position.
Yeah, he's still
right
a capable scorer,
right,
and a big.
Yeah,
so someone's gonna pay him.
Yeah,
and it's just not gonna be us. So
absolutely.
All right.
Okay, we're on the.
Cool.
Same
I didn't think we were. I thought it was. I felt like it was a hot take because I felt like the mere mention of it, like people seem to get angry. But I'm like, all right, I just don't.
Yeah, I think he's on the last year of a 4-year, $100 million. So he's making $25 million. He's set to make 22 in the last year on his current contract. So I don't want to bark up that tree right now.
No, I don't either. And I'll try to do what he does for less, though. I'll take half. What do you say, Bulls?
Pich, always the humanitarian. Thank you so much. All right, next, this one is from our boy Mofongazo, who often checks in our lives, and we haven't done one of those in a minute because of the crazy schedule. Hopefully, we'll get on one of those soon. But Mofongazo has a nice image here with rookies with 600-plus points, 200-plus rebounds, 120-plus assists in those first 31 games since the ABA-NBA merger. It's our boy Paolo Banchero in with Magic Johnson and Larry Bird. That's elite company. I mean, those two guys lit the league on fire when they came into the league, and Paolo is as well. I think the league is kind of sleeping and not appreciating really what Paolo's doing at the age of 20. There are a lot of statistics that are getting thrown around, but this should be like front page every time this guy is going out there. He is doing some unbelievable things, and not only that, just his demeanor about it. It doesn't look the moment has never looked too big for him.
It's efficient.
Some nights.
Well, I feel like he's good for 20 a game. You know what I mean? He's not like giving you any 45-point performances that would make our current media, because they're all like, they want big time sexy plays.
That's true. That's true.
But he's just efficient. And that's why I think it gets swept under the rug.
You keep using that word, efficient. There are some nights when he's not. No, he's not always efficient.
I mean efficient. I don't mean efficiency like his shooting. I mean consistently.
Yeah.
And
you can pencil his number. You can pencil 20 points in the box score for him before the game starts.
Sure.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. Now, there's still room to grow, which is crazy in terms of the effective field goal percentage, his efficiency. You can tell he's going to get better shooting from three. He's had some nights where he's really spot on with that, and some nights where he's horribly off. The playmaking, understanding where his teammates are going to be. I think we're going to see more even passing from Paolo. It's just what is impressive to me too is how much he gets on the boards. Like, it's not irregular, unusual for him to be either leading the team in rebounds or just behind Wendell.
Right.
And I didn't know he was going to be that dominant on the boards when he wants to be. And that's something that, along with the scoring, is just making for a complete player, because that's really what this statistic is about. Points, rebounds, and assists.
Yeah.
Doing it all. not just a one-sided player. There's a lot that's made. I mean, Jalen Green was everyone's all over his nuts from last year, may still be a good player. That guy's just a scorer.
Yep.
Like he could be a quote unquote star, but it's going to be a star because he's averaging 30.
Right.
Not because he's also assisting and rebounding. This guy is the all-around player, the all-around superstar. We have hit gold with Paolo, and I couldn't be happier with the way the future looks with this guy and our boy Franz.
Yeah, I think what's maybe lost to some of the younger viewers, yourself maybe included, I see these little comparison things a lot where, oh, this guy is this and this and this. Listen, this is Larry Bird and Magic Johnson. Not only did they put basketball on the goddamn map.
That's
like
true.
Their rivalry brought basketball to the forefront in college. And then boom, they hit the NBA with two really good teams. Man, these guys were so dominant. These two are top 5 NBA players of all time for me. Like these guys were running the league when I started watching it and was like, wow, this is something. Holy crap, 80s basketball is fantastic.
Showtime Lakers.
So for Paolo to be in the conversation only with those two gentlemen, I don't think anyone realizes how big that is. But the fact that he'll probably continue to do that over the next 31 games, like we said, that's what's impressive. Is he just kind of doing it? And if people don't want to give him the media attention right now, that's fine. That's part of the growing too. It will come as our team rises. So let them sleep. They'll be well rested to watch Paolo dominate later.
Okay, the next is from our boy Jeff Weltgod. Weltgod writing with the post just says Markelle Fultz. That's what it says, and we have a little image here of Markelle with the Mickey Mouse ears on and the hand. The Orlando Magic this season, at the time of this post, without Markelle Fultz, you remember this, ladies and gentlemen? Do you remember this? 5-16. That was the episode where we're like, what's Coach Mosley doing?
Right, what's happening?
What's going on? We should be better than this. We got to be winning with the guys on the floor. With Markelle Fultz, ladies and gentlemen, 11-10.
Right. Now, just one game better than 500, but much more like where we thought we could be.
Right. A 500 team in the East is in the playoffs.
This graphic's really not helping my mention about how we wanted to be something more than just a place that has Mickey Mouse, but stay with us.
Yeah, I did kind of feel bad when they had this photo shoot, like with the guys. I'm like, they really made them wear the ears with the.
Well, they're paying for the associate sponsorship there, so you get to do stuff like this.
And Markelle, he's got good spirits about it.
We may have to pay Disney just to be the Magic. They may have registered Magic Kingdom before. They may have that.
Oh,
right?
shit.
We may have had to go through them.
Maybe we're just trying to play nice so they don't come at us in the core of law. Hey.
It's all good.
We put the hand on. We put the ears on.
Disney, yeah, cool. We love it. We love everything. We love everything. Let's go. Yeah, we send everybody over to the games.
In preparation to talk about this, I was jumping on Basketball Reference, jumping on Cleaning the Glass, and just trying to look at the numbers because I like to see what the numbers say. And the numbers on Basketball Reference, they don't really pop out at you. It's nothing crazy. 12.8 points a game.
They don't pop.
In the last 11. He's got, 6.4 assists. That number has been slowly ticking up. 4.8 rebounds. Shooting from 3. 20% in the last 11 games. It's like those numbers don't pop. On Cleaning the Glass, one that does look very sexy is the assist percentage. The percentage of teammates made shots that the player assists on. 31% of teammates made shots come from Markelle Fultz assists. That's top 3% in the league. That's the only number that I can really find.
Right. The fact that you had to dig that far for the numbers tells you that those numbers don't mean as much as his actual just demeanor.
Yeah.
The confidence they have in him as a ball handler.
Right.
Honestly, bringing the ball up court was a struggle for us when he wasn't there. We had to figure out, can we do it with Franz this possession, Paolo that possession? All right, now we got Cole doing it.
Yeah.
He's just brought that solidified, I'm the starting point guard of this team. I got the ball. I'm going to make decisions. And it is hard to put a statistical category on that, even though you dug for a deep one and found one.
I found one.
But it's really not about that. Sometimes it's not about the stats that you see on the back of a guy's card. It's what they bring to the squad and the team. And you can see by that win-loss record, it's positive.
And even, I know there's always so much made about Markelle Fultz not going to be able to shoot 3-pointers, and that's never going to be a part of his game. Although this year he is shooting above about 32%ish. Like he's making some of them 35% at home. Like that's respectable.
I'm good with it.
It's not really about that. The way that he plays, the cachet, and the change of speeds. He throws defenses into fits the way that he's able to get into the paint and to the rim. I mean, he's finding open guys. He's learning now more where people are going to be. And I was a little down on him coming back. I think my expectations were set too high out the gate. There was a little adjustment period. Now they're hitting the ground running, and I am starting to see that Markelle Fultz that I expected to see, where he can get 20 any night. His assists are going to keep ticking up. I'm expecting him to end the season at 7 to 8 at least. And the numbers will start to reflect what we're seeing on the court, which is how he's facilitating this offense and just making everyone else's life easier. It's beautiful to watch.
It is, and you didn't say anything about it, so let me just go ahead and give him a little bit of props on D. I love the tenacity that he has on D, trying to get in there, be active with steals. And one of the things I like about him is that you see this a lot with players where like, oh, I got blocked on this one end, or I just had a turnover. And they go back and then they get a foul on the other end, frustrated. They're trying to get it back. Whenever Kel does that, it works. It seems like he kind of ends up balancing where you're like, oh, that's a bad shot, Kel. And then he makes a steal on the other end and gets a free layup.
Yeah, gets the rebound and out of nowhere.
You know what I mean? It's like,
just when I counted you out, you went and did something like this.
But that's what, like, a team with a lot of young players is usually going to have those moments of frustration that build where, turnover, go down the other end, bad foul. Yeah, you saw it a lot last year. And it kind of snowballs, and it's how those leads get out of control, right? But Markelle finds a way to stabilize a lot of those times when things could get off the rails. And that's what this squad has needed.
Couldn't have said it better. The next one, maybe many of you noticed what Lisa Wendell's glasses noticed in the recent game. She says, I'm a straight female, but I am finding it hard to focus on Steele and Turner when the camera is on them during this Orlando Magic versus Nuggets game.
And it was on them a bit because there was a challenge right as they were doing the Is It Anything? And I'm pretty sure he got a buzzer. I don't even remember what it was now because this was happening. But to be fair, this shot is not doing those justice, if I may. You guys watched the game. You saw it. I'm just saying. It's hard to ignore.
Milky, mommy.
It was hard to ignore. And it felt like the camera guys were like, let's make sure we get David in just a little bit more of this. So they know what they're doing over there.
Lisa is a great follow. She's a hardcore Magic fan also. And it was tough to watch this one, Lisa, with the lady. Luckily, my lady's very cool then. We were all joking around, but it was a lot.
I think she made a comment first when we watched. I saw it, but I was like, I'm not going to say anything, but look at him.
Yeah, then
she said something that I was like,
tits.
I wasn't going to say anything, but look.
And that's
that guy. He got some good seats. And he's doing it right.
Yeah. That's what you come here for, Court Cousins, ladies and gentlemen, that hard-hitting basketball content.
Well, with some fun in there. Hey, you guys watched the game. You saw that, right? Like, there's no way you didn't see that. If you didn't watch the game, fine. If you're watching a wrap-up, you didn't see that in there. Yeah, if you watched the game, you saw that. There's always
and if you're picking one to go back and watch, maybe that one. It was a good game.
Was.
All right, some more light-carded content, some hashtag Magic Together content, Pich.
Hey, more just people in love at a basketball game. They're just bringing dates and having a good time.
That's what it's all about. That's where we come together. So I saw this from Tim Heaton. He wrote, I've spent days emailing with Orlando Magic trying to get on the Kiss Cam tomorrow against the Oklahoma City Thunder. I want to propose to my girlfriend. Sounds like it's not going to happen. Someone help me out. I need this. We like this. I retweeted this. A lot of people did.
Oh, the Orlando Magic bat version of the bat signal went up.
Yeah.
And Magic Together responded.
That would be Stuff, right? Would that be Stuff?
I'm imagining it as either Stuff's face or maybe just the ball.
Yeah.
Either way.
Okay. I'm with it.
The ball would look cooler in the sky, maybe.
Yeah. I'm with it. And so, because the bat signal went up and because everyone responded, Tim was able to get in touch with someone at the Magic And he did, in fact, propose.
Yes.
And can confirm she said yes.
Yes. Congratulations, Tim.
Congratulations, my man.
And
Way to
whatever
go.
your lady's name is, she's not mentioned.
This looks like a lovely couple.
Yeah. I mean, find you a girl that is cool with you
Oh.
proposing to her at a Magic game.
Dude.
I mean,
He
it's
hit
not,
the lottery.
It's not even like on my list of things I'd be looking for because I feel like it doesn't exist. Because we live in New England. To be fair.
She's a rare one, Tim.
Yeah.
You found a keeper. That's for damn sure.
Hang in there, my guy.
Yeah, that is fantastic, man. I'm happy for you.
Best of luck to the happy couple.
All right, now back to some basketball.
Okay.
The Magic community, we've been abuzz with this news that Paolo Banchero is relaying here. He says, legend has it, a giant who has not been seen for 892 days played basketball yesterday. And he has an image of some long unseen giants. There's the what's that one called? Not
Bigfoot?
Bigfoot, thank you.
Sasquatch?
The Loch Ness Monster, a UFO, and then Jonathan Isaac dunking in a Lakeland Magic jersey.
I mean, that last one is the one I'm least familiar with, to be honest. Very familiar with the other three from various movies, and I've seen these pictures and photos before, but that last one, I'm sus on that.
Are you sure? Okay, well, maybe God, he summed up what I was feeling on this day. The wife asked, "What time are we going to dinner?" Me, "We aren't." Wife, "Why not?" Me, "Unforeseen change of plans." Wife, "Wow, what is more important than your wife of 15 years?" Me, "With all due respect, after 15 years of injury, Jonathan Isaac plays basketball tonight."
In dog years.
In dog years, yes. Not literally.
That's a fact, actually.
Yeah. and this was it, man. You might have been like me when Jonathan Isaac was playing this game. I even forget who the opponent was. That I was tuned in. Hopefully, some of you, I'm sure, went. If you live in the area, I would have been there with you.
It was our.
If we were close by. Oh, that's right. It was the Westchester Knicks. What a tease! Oh my God, if that would have been around here, but of course he wouldn't have been coming back from rehab on the road. But it was good to see Jonathan Isaac. He's now played 2 games, I believe, with the Lakeland Magic.
Yep.
Don't know if there's going to be any more stints involved. I think the first game he had like 15 points in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's not about the numbers. It's just more about seeing what he's giving you on the floor. And it looked good, Pich. It looked really good. We had him active on defense. I think the first possession that he was in for, he was harassing his opponent and caused a 24-second shot clock violation because of his defense. And then, man, saw like a couple. He went to this turnaround jumper near the baseline. It was pretty and it looked good. You know, so those are very heartening signs. He had confidence. He was looking for contact. He wasn't shying away from it. He got to the line a couple times. Love to see it. He did miss a dunk that would have brought the house down in the second half. But that's the thing that you did see. There's still some sea legs under him. He's got to get his playing breath back.
Sure.
He was definitely a little gassed there at the end. And that's why he's doing these stints. But just to see Jonathan Isaac moving around, nothing on the knee, looking nimble, didn't look like he had any trepidation about any types of moves. Although, please stay away from the Euro step. Please stay away from the Euro step if possible.
He's not European, right? So he's not really allowed to do it.
Yeah, but that's how he injured us originally. So all us Magic fans are traumatized. I don't mean that seriously. I think he will be able to have all of his offensive and defensive retinue soon once he gets it back. And we're filming this on Thursday. Do you think we could see him tomorrow night? Yeah, he's just not going to speculate. But
I told you I'm done speculating when this guy's coming back.
That is a date that many people have circled. It could happen, and I will be
on the plus side
interested to see.
It's nice to hear you talking about him again because he's not injured anymore.
Right.
You have your rule about not talking about injured players,
and now I can talk about him.
You can't talk.
And
about
I see you're wearing his jersey there.
No, this is a Tracy McGrady. You should get rid of the one. Still, I still stand by that. So the thing is about the G League is that RJ Hampton goes down there and drops 30.
I know this.
So I understand he's still trying to get back to it, but I need him to put up some of those kind of games. And he had a lot of dunks to get those 15 points. Those are high percentage shots. He did have that like one fade I saw, but I wasn't like overly impressed by anything that wasn't defense in that
Didn't
game.
make any threes, to your point.
But, that's fine. He's just getting back to it. If he plays more games there to feel like he needs to get back to it, that's fine. People always say guys are blowing up and all this stuff. And it's like, well, aren't you? He's working out all the time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are you not ready? Like, how could you not be ready after this many days? Like you should at least be ready. So, but hopefully he does have everything in his bag that he had before. He might as well try everything.
Yeah. Because
at this point, if he tries to do something and it's hurting him or causes him pain or injures him, then he just can't play basketball anymore. Like, you just need to give it. You just need to go.
I mean, he's saying he's feeling good. I'm hoping it's looking like all signs go. We've got Jonathan Isaac coming back, feeling 100%. How much will he move the needle on our squad? I don't know. He's going to be coming off the bench. I definitely know he's going to impact the defense day one.
Yeah.
But the problem on the bench hasn't necessarily been the defense. We're just not scoring any damn points.
I'll say this. He's not going to hurt the team.
No, definitely not.
And him not playing and all the question and shit like that about it has been.
Yeah.
So at least that's
true.
over.
That's true.
So I'm ready.
But the thing we do need to slow down, folks, with is the conversations about him being in the starting lineup and how this changes the starting lineup. That's, as much as I would love to see, I don't know, that's on the next one.
Okay.
I can't get to that yet. As much as I would like to see that, because that would mean we're seeing some amazing things out of J.I.
Yeah.
That's not this year.
No,
that's a next year speculation when we get there.
Unless we have some injuries or something.
Fuck, God.
I mean, it's a possibility.
God.
Look, there's wood here. I'll knock on it, everybody.
Okay. All right, he's knocking. We're
Just
good.
saying.
We're good.
It's a possibility.
We're good. All right, something else great besides those milky mommy
Oh, wow.
from the Denver game was this, Pich, and I'll let you go with this one because this one speaks close to your heart.
All right. So, you probably saw this, I believe it was at the end of the half. Long pass from Jalen Suggs to Franz for a possible buzzer beater that would have been pretty exceptional. Your boy, Kobe Price, writes, is someone from the Denver Broncos at the Magic Nuggets game? Asking because they might ask Jalen Suggs to start for them next season after that full court pass he made to Franz Wagner. As a representative of the Denver Bronco fan community, I can say that I would be for a trade that has Jalen Suggs to the Denver Broncos for Russell Wilson to the Orlando Magic. Russell Wilson's a very God-fearing man. We have Isaac coming back to the team. They can be boys. They can hang out. I think this could behoove both squads.
And with that, let's now go into the trade cage.
If you thought that trade was insane, stick around. I think that one has more validity than some of the ones on our list today. I'm just saying that.
That's nonsense.
Jalen Suggs played football.
Okay, that's true. That's true. Russell Wilson never played basketball, though. He played baseball.
He played baseball, though. He's an athlete.
He's an athlete. You're
You
right.
can figure it out.
All right, so we're going to go into the trade cage speculation, Pich's favorite place. Before we get into specific players or potential trades that you all have been sharing out there and our patrons have been sharing on the Patreon, just like to have kind of a more general trade deadline conversation, Pich. I'd like to pick your brain on what you're feeling here as we move into the trade deadline. For me, I don't think there's going to be much of anything, right? Because we look at John Hammond's record, and to a certain extent, Jeff Weltman, and these are patient guys.
Yep.
They're not going out there and trying to make slam dunk, stupid Rob Hennigan moves, trading Serge Ibaka for Domantas Sabonis and Victor Oladipo. That's not happening here. And I think I'm letting my excitement for this team get ahead of myself with how much potential and excitement I have for, Franz and Paulo and Fultz and WCJ and that core and even some of the other guys coming along.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself in thinking that we're trying to compete right now. I want us to win right now, and maybe some of you feel the same way because we've been in these losing years for so long, and we finally have a little taste, and we're like, let's get some people to put next to Paulo and Franz.
It hasn't been that long since you've been in the playoffs. With the COVID-shortened season, you're in the playoffs.
I know. But there's some time here, right? And I think the bigger danger is shooting your load before the party. All right, you don't want to make the move before your team is ready for it.
Yeah.
And I think that John Hammond and Jeff Weltman are the perfect guys because, as I said, they're not going to do that. Just a couple big markers. I don't know if that's the word I want. Coming up, though, the big ones that we need to look out for are Franz and Paolo's rookie extensions. Because as I see it, those are the two cornerstone pieces. Yes, I love WCJ. Yes, I love me some Markelle Fultz. Franz and Paolo are the guys. All right. And they're going to be up for max rookie extensions. And unless John Hammond and Jeff Weltman do some unbelievable trickery and magicianship, they're probably going to demand those types of extensions. Because if we don't give it to them, other teams will, you imagine. Mm-hmm. So Franz is coming up for his rookie extension in the 2025-2026 season. And then Paolo would be a year after, 26-27. So we've got...
Feels like a long ways away.
It is, right? It is. And I think that's the point I'm trying to make here is I want to go right now. I want to see this team start taking shape.
Yeah.
But we've actually got some time. We've got some time to figure things out.
We have like a whole Jonathan Isaac rehab.
Right, of time.
Away.
Yeah, we've got that much time. Yeah. Feel how long that felt, ladies and gentlemen. That's a good analogy, Pich. That's how much time we have. And those max salaries, both of those guys are eligible for max salaries that command 25% of the salary cap. Mm-hmm. So when we sign those guys, that's going to be 50% of our cap.
Yep.
So in all these trades that we're looking at,
I mean, that's assuming that, one of them might take a team-friendly deal to keep this squad running.
Maybe Franz, if his brother gets some of that, maybe. But Paolo is going to be a superstar of superstars. People are already elevating him to that level.
Sure.
Franz, I don't know if I don't know if Franz will have that notoriety amongst the fan bases, but I think general managers are going to be ready to throw the bag at him.
Oh, yeah. They're both going to get the bag.
No, I'm assuming both of these guys are going to, going into this hypothetical exercise, I'm assuming that both of those guys are going to command max rookie extensions, which would be 25% of our cap. Again, starting in year 26, 27, when both of those guys will have that, that's 50% of your cap. Mm-hmm. So when we look at these hypotheticals, I'm looking for two things, Pich. I'm looking for, if we're bringing someone on right now, is it a contract? If it's a big number guy, and if it's like a legitimate, kind of borderline star guy, I want his contract up around the time that these guys are going to be up for their money.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to give them up because of Bradley Beal or Damian Lillard or whoever people might hope and pray that is going to come to the Orlando Magic.
Right.
Because they are on veteran max contracts, which are even more of a percentage of a team's salary cap, and we just can't sustain it. With two guys that are going to command 50%,
sure.
We can't take another guy that's going to command 30%.
It is noble of you to be that concerned about things that far in advance.
I think that's the lens that we have to look at it through.
But that's the lens they're looking at it through for sure. But the fans and the reactions and a lot of the trade option people are not taking that into consideration.
Well,
it's nice that you are.
I'm
glad
trying
that you're
to.
realizing that
I'm trying to.
You got to measure the expectations.
Yeah.
But realistically, it is possible to bring in a solid player whose contract ends before this period, or is a guy we can move before that period and still have a good playoff run next season.
Right.
So anything is potentially on the table because of the length of time before those maxes kick in and take 50% of the roster.
Right.
There's still a lot of chips to fall before we get to that point.
Yeah, sure.
So.
And guys that are already on those extensions that we will talk about in just a moment, their contracts would be up by then. So if you want to go out and get a superstar guy and try it for 2 or 3 years,
go for it.
You can roll those dice.
Yep.
Or the other side would just be trying to really build a little bit, which I think is more realistic looking at John Hammond and Jeff Weltman and what they did in Milwaukee. Mm-hmm. It was a slow burn.
Yeah.
It was like add a piece here, get Chris Middleton when no one really knew who he was. Giannis is coming along.
Right.
We had Jabari Parker that time, and he was kind of the guy. Remember that when Jabari Parker was the guy on the Bucks?
Yep.
And then after they went and made their move for Drew Holiday. And that kind of solidified it.
Yeah.
But that is, I think, 2 years off for us, like
At least not this year.
Giannis had
Maybe
already
next.
re-signed his rookie max extension, his rookie extension.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was a max because Giannis developed a lot more slowly than Paolo.
I was going
and
to
Franz
say,
are.
in a way, it's tough to compare that because they basically had Chris Middleton and Giannis become all-star MVP level players over a course of 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah.
It's not like they were high draft picks.
And that's the
they were
thing.
just guys they just kind of acquired or got with a late draft pick that just emerged. And that's what we've not had in Orlando is, can't we just hit on like a second rounder or can we have somebody just catch fire like that we pick up by accident on a trade like a bowl?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm just saying we hadn't had a lot of that. So some of those things are happening for us now,
And
which
that-
does feel better. But
And that's what you see Weltman and Hammond do. That was the bowl move last
Right.
year that you brought up. Like they did that. They got Chris Middleton. I was looking at the trade. I forgot where he came from, but it was like him and another guy sending out like Michael Redd and like a second round pick.
I
Like
want to say Pistons, maybe Pacers.
yeah, Pistons. That's who it was. Yeah. And it's like, I didn't even know that Chris Middleton was drafted by the Pistons. I bet they're kicking themselves, right? But those are the types of moves I'm
know what
more
they have.
expecting this year is like fringe guys that
Right.
Weltman and Hammond think, hey, this guy can kind of develop maybe, and we're going to take a waiver on him. I think that's more what we're looking for.
Somebody would have had the hindsight to see Lauri Markkanen with the Bulls and be like, let's get this guy for nothing.
Yeah.
And then have him be all-star level player.
Yeah. So we'll see if that's out there. And then the other thing I'm looking for in these trades is what Yachty brought up over on our Patreon community. He's talking about, the target teams, and he cited an article with The Athletic, teams that are in rough spots, like the Bulls, the Timberwolves, and the Hawks were mentioned in that article. Although I think the ship is righting for the Hawks. They're getting healthy, and I think things are moving in the right direction for them. But I'm looking at other teams like the Pistons, the Hornets, Toronto, who's underperforming, the Phoenix Suns, who are underperforming, Portland, who now finds themselves outside of the playoffs in the West, even though it's super tight there. If they lose a few more games, do they think about blowing it up again? Those are the things that I'm really looking for in these trades. So should we get into some more, or do you have more general trade talk, sir?
My only other magic thought on the trades is comes from Stanley Swanson on Twitter, who says, Magic fans, I know we want to keep winning,
Yes.
right? But I need to stop seeing fan trades of any of our key players because you feel like we desperately need a superstar who's ball dominant. Now, I know you said you haven't seen a lot of ones that include, I've seen ones that include Franz and
No,
Wendell.
you fucking haven't.
I have seen them.
Next time
people are
at me,
silly, man.
Please at me when you see someone
people are
suggesting that we
silly.
trade Franz Wagner.
But in general, just cut that part out and go with that superstar who's ball dominant. We don't need to acquire that person right now
No.
because we are trying to develop 2 potential megastars who I'd like to have the ball.
Yeah.
So we
Right.
don't need somebody else coming in that's like, I know how to do this.
Yeah.
Get out the way, rookies.
No, we don't. You're right.
So don't shoot for the moon and ask for these guys.
Yeah, and the other thing I do want to mention, which we were talking about before, is I think we still need the same things that we came into the season needing. We need some shooting, and we need a backup big. And I
I don't
think
feel the same on the backup big, but
I can't. So how can you? So you're
J.I. is coming back, the Messiah. He's risen again after 3 years. It took Jesus 3 days. It took Isaac 3 years. But he's back, right? Is he not back?
well.
Does he not qualify as a backup big? You just told me he wasn't in the starting lineup.
I'm talking about a backup 5, and I don't think Jonathan Isaac is going to be a 5. I know he's playing the 5 with Lakeland, but
I don't know. We're
he's
seeing
not gonna be
that in
banging.
this league. 5 is not as important as stretch 4.
That no, you're and 5s aren't what they were a decade ago. They're not. There's not a lot of big bruisers, but
I think between Isaac, Wendell,
Moritz,
Moritz,
you like that? Enough?
I like that.
Bamba.
well, I'm assuming Bamba's leaving in our trade game. But even if he doesn't, there's enough bodies there that I feel like, we're good. I don't need us to go try to swing for an Isaiah Hartenstein like we were talking about last year and stuff like that. I don't need a Miles Plumlee on my bench or what's his name?
Hold on, I need to delete one of these trades.
Like, I don't need those guys. I mean, I just don't.
Mason Plumlee. Yeah,
Mason, not Miles.
He's
Miles
kind
was
of older, but that is kind of the guy that I would like on the bench, like a big, just a center who can play center and get rebounds, because
just a big white that looks like a thumb.
Yeah,
You're
we've
like,
been
I
getting
need this
owned
guy.
on the boards on the West Coast road trip.
Yeah.
We aren't rebounding as well as we should. I need a guy who will really dominate the paint.
Okay.
I still think we want there, but I think we are agreeing that we need a 2. We need
That's number one,
scoring
for sure.
punch.
If a backup
2.
big comes in the package, all right.
You're all right with it. Okay. All right. Let us know, ladies and gentlemen. Are we crazy with that? Do you agree with the Weltman-Hammond thoughts? Do you agree with our need? What do you think our needs are on this team? Are you with Pich? Do you think we're good on the backup big situation? And do you agree with us where we both say, we need a scoring 2. We need some scoring punch. We need some scoring punch off the bench as well. Some consistent scoring. Okay. You ready to go into some of these?
Yes.
All right. Well, we're going to start with our Patreons. Hop over to there if you'd like. Support the show. Buy us a beer every month.
Like these guys.
All right. So we got Anthony Unwin. And he's suggesting...
I call him Anthony Lose.
Yes. That the Spurs may be trying to get worse and get steadily into the Wembanyama sweepstakes.
I mean,
and he's shooting
hard to get worse.
He's shooting for Devin Vassell, who's a young player, I think in his 3rd or 4th year.
Yep.
For some combo of RJ, Bamba, and the Chicago pick.
Mm-hmm.
I would love that. I know the pick could be, Chicago could be anywhere in the top 10, or it could be 10 to 15, something like that. Depends on how they play the second half of the year. But man, Devin Vassell is, and I'm not like a huge Devin Vassell enjoyer or watcher. I haven't watched much of him, but the highlights that I did watch in preparation for this, he can shoot the rock. He's shooting over 40% this year. So that's like the ideal player that I'm kind of looking for. Anthony and I are in unison on this. If that package could get us a player with as much upside, because he's still young and he fits the timeline of this team, I'd be into it. Now, the only problem then becomes he's on a similar contract timeline as Franz and Paolo. Mm-hmm. And so, if he continues to improve, then you have multiple guys that you got to sign for big money. But that's what I'm looking for. Devin Vassell, that would be a pipe dream. Please, please, please.
Wow. If I had to name Spurs, he would be one of the Spurs I would name, but I would call him Devin Vassell. So I don't know a ton about him. Mm-hmm. This doesn't seem like a crazy option, Bamba in Chicago, but I don't know. We already got a lot of young guys on our team. I feel like we could do better. But I see your points.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna hit this one with the okay. I got the Pich signs out over here. I may use them as I see fit, but we'll see.
Yeah, I mean,
most of these I'm gonna be passing on, but on this one I'm like, all right, I guess. I mean,
Devin Vassell is a really good player. I'm looking at more highlights right now. He's definitely a great shooter, as I said, shooting over 40% from 3. But he's got a lot of playmaking, and we've been encouraged to say Cole has made some strides in playmaking, but we still really lack that off our bench, and he could bring that.
Let me just talk about the Chicago pick, though, for a second, because if that ends up being a top 3 pick, it goes back to Chicago?
Top 4 this year, top 3 next year.
Top 4 this year, it goes back to Chicago. Teams might not be willing to trade that at the deadline, knowing they could lose it.
No, they can't lose it. It just, if it's in the top 4 this year, Chicago gets it, and we get, and it moves another year.
It moves
and then
back.
So the next year it's top 3 protected,
Right.
And if it happens after that, there's no protection.
But see, this year Chicago's not great,
right?
And if they have to wait until next year, when Chicago's going to probably reload with
Could
at least one piece or something here and be better, that pick's value goes down. So I think it's just something that they're going to consider.
Our newest Patreon, Omid. Shout out Omid. Shout out to you, homie. Thanks for joining. Much love. I love this. This is a pipe dream for me right here. This is a pipe dream. Omid suggested, and this fits into the Kyle's criteria right now. Mm-hmm. A trade with the Suns, who are playing worse than they should and kind of in disarray. Mikal Bridges from the Suns for whatever we'd have to send. I'd do a similar deal to what we would do for Devin Vassell. I'd send one of those first round picks for a guy like Mikal Bridges. And I like this one.
Have to send more, but
you might. I mean, because this guy, he's averaging close to 40% from three, 37.7%. He had shot over 40%. So he's a great shooter. And not only that, but he was on the all defensive team last year. So, but that just fits our DNA. I mean, Mosley, we love coaching up defense. He'd be a perfect guy to have.
I like this one. This might be the one I see that I like the most. In fact, I wish I had made a 2 thumbs up sign. Yeah. I like Bridges. He's delivered in the playoffs. He's played in big games. Even though he's sort of a younger guy, he's got some vet feel to him. He played for Villanova, I believe, as well. So this guy's won when it mattered most, and that's something we don't have on our team.
That's true.
So I think he would bring a mindset and also this, the defense, the 3-point shooting, those other things that we need, but he's not a ball dominant guy. I love this one.
Yeah. Yeah, and his contract is through 25-26. He's on a 4-year, $90 million right now. So that's
high, but we have some room.
A little over 20.
Trade some guys, and then it's over at the right time.
Exactly. So we could move on Mikal Bridges right now, have him for the extent of Paolo and Franz's rookie deals, and then if he really wants to make a lot of money, we can't. I'm sorry, sir. We'll see you later.
Sure.
Or
probably would depend on how he plays.
Right.
Whether he wants to stay, be a part, take him in, or there's
if
a lot of options.
If we're getting deep in the playoffs and guys want, that's when guys.
That's why this is so weird, Jeff, ladies and gentlemen. It's like there's so many possibilities that could change things. It's sort of like when a butterfly flaps his wings, right? Like that whole thing, like some little thing leads to everything else. Like some other team may need this at that time and have this and this that they're willing to give away. There's so many things. And that's why the trade cage is just bizarre. But I do like the idea of trying to get Mikal Bridges. I will say at least that. I don't know what it takes.
So now we're really shooting for the stars. I mean, that is shooting.
That's not really shooting for the stars. That's he's not an all-star.
Right.
He's
all defensive.
He's
player.
A good, solid player that the Suns would definitely want something for. But if the Suns feel like, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's not coming together for us this year, let's make do with other guys in those places. They might be willing to move.
The question is on the picks. Like, ladies and gentlemen out there, let us know in the comments how many picks are you willing to give up for a guy like Mikal Bridges or Devin Vassell? Devin Vassell's a younger player, but I mean, you're going to have to include at least one first round pick and a couple, probably a couple of our players to make the money work. Would you give 2? That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
I mean, as we're going through this, if I see somebody that I think deserves 2, I'll let you know. I know we talked a little bit off show about like Bradley Beal as a name.
Yeah.
I would consider that.
He's not coming up, I don't think. Bradley Beal.
But that's why I brought it up, because I feel like I would consider that for him. But there's not a lot of other guys that I think are actually going to get potentially traded that would be worth 2.
I might have one here coming up in a minute.
We'll see.
So let's get in. We're gonna name this one the Toronto Raptors segment. This is gonna be the Toronto Raptors thumbnail. What can we steal from them? Okay. So, okay. You want to start with the Fred VanVleet nonsense? Do you want to start with that? So
sure.
we've got Mavs draft, who has now changed to Mavs/Magic draft.
Yes.
Which is pretty cool. He's from the Orlando area, but then he moved to Dallas, and he's big in kind of the podcast communities and basketball community. He's been Mavs draft the whole time I've seen him, but now he's back on the Mavs/Magic draft. I think he sees the tides are turning and maybe can get some more eyeballs on his account with the Magic in there. He says, this says more about the Magic getting ready to consolidate a guard than it does about Fred VanVleet for me, in my opinion. If they sign Fred, there's zero chance of all Fultz, Suggs, and Anthony return next year, and I'd be shocked if Orlando can win a free agency battle over Phoenix. And this is him replying to a report that the Suns and Magic have emerged as potential free agent suitors for all-star guard VanVleet, league sources say.
Well, based on the Suns' interest in Fred and our interest in Mikal, maybe we pick him up and swing him. We work some sort of 3-way deal or something.
All right.
That's the only way I see this working out. I don't really want Fred VanVleet on our team. I don't know why people would do. I also don't think the Toronto Raptors are underperforming, as you said earlier. I think they're a team of average dudes. Right. I think they have Pascal Siakam is a very good player, and I think Fred VanVleet is a very good player. They haven't been good since Kawhi left. Like like championship worthy good.
Well, yeah, sure, but I think
So if you're not championship worthy good, then you need to make some moves to get championship worthy good, or have young players develop. I don't see them having a lot of young players that are going to take the league by storm. Scotty Barnes, the most overrated rookie of the year ever.
Well, we can agree on
Right?
that.
He's definitely not going to be the Kawhi this team would need to win a championship. So they need to make some moves of some sort.
But yeah, they are underperforming, Pich. They're definitely underperforming. Pascal Siakam and Fred VanVleet have both been all-stars. That's 2 starting all-stars.
But you set the
OG
bar too
Anunoby-
high if you think they're underperforming.
I mean, but looking at that team, it should be a solidly a playoff team right now. OG Anunoby, who's a very good scoring, defensive scoring and defensive 3. I know we don't like Scotty Barnes, but at least he can be solid on defense.
Oh, he's not.
We're going to talk
player,
about Gary Trent Jr. in a second. They have a really good rotation. And there's no reason, honestly, that they should be in the 11th seed. They are underperforming. The Bulls are ahead of them. The Pacers are ahead of them. The fucking Knicks are ahead of them, dude. They are underperforming. They are.
Okay.
I mean, maybe not massively from our perspective.
Okay, I have them as like a 9.
Yeah, right. They should be in there though, but they're not. They're out. They're out. We're only 3 games behind them. So that's underperforming for them. I think their fan base is looking for some more cataclysmic moves here and making some changes to shake things up. So that's why there's all this Fred VanVleet talk. That means if Fred VanVleet, he's a starting point guard.
Yeah, he seems like the kind of guy you'd want to keep.
Yeah.
They should keep Siakam and Fred and move the other pieces.
Well, Fred wants to get paid like an all-star, and paying an undersized guard, I mean, he doesn't shoot that great from beyond the arc. I know he's got some dog in. He's got a lot of dog.
We've already got a lot of those guys on our team.
Yeah, that we Cole Anthony is Fred VanVleet adjacent. Like he's the same player a few years behind. I don't want anything to do with Fred VanVleet and the number that we're going to have to pay to get him, because I think this is the last year on his contract or maybe one more, and then he's looking for a multi-year bag. And I do not want to get involved in that at all.
Right. But again, let's talk to the Suns about a 3-way, see if we can do it.
Well, we're going to talk about more Toronto Raptors right now, Pich, because Wendell Carter Jr. posted a happy birthday post for Gary Trent Jr. with a heart and fingers crossed emoji. You see what I'm doing here? You see what I'm doing there? So Gary Trent Jr. is a player that I think would be great for this squad. At Lil Penny also agrees. He says, please bring me Gary Trent Jr. Pich, what do you have there?
Pass.
Okay, well, you shouldn't be.
I'm going to have to Google him right now because I've seen him come off their bench, but he's not impressive.
Dude, he's in the second of a 3rd-year deal for $51 million. So if you get him, you have him for 1 more year, and then that's around $18 million a year. That's like kind of where we can rock with that, right? It might be, you might consider it a little bit of a lateral move with Terrence Ross, but it's not. He's definitely younger than Terrence Ross, and he has much more off the dribble than Terrence Ross. And lately, he's been a better shooter because Terrence has been kind of cold and inconsistent. Now, I like that piece moving forward. I think that's a good piece to have off the bench as a 6-man type of guy. Especially if Gary Trent Jr. and WCJ seem to have a relationship. I don't know exactly what the connection is there, but that would be awesome. So,
well, they played at Duke together.
Did they?
Well, Gary Trent played at Duke, so I'm guessing they played there at the same time.
Oh, so that would be that's why the fingers crossed. A reuniting, get another Duke player, piss Pich off even more. Oh, that's just the ribbon on top for me.
Yeah, maybe that's why I don't like him. It's also because he dropped 28 randomly out of the blue on the Bucks the other night. But yeah, it seems like he is a little bit Terrence Rossi is what you're saying. But I'm not a fan of the Terrence Rossi style player. So that's why I think he's not on my radar at all. Like he's just a guy that's in the league. Let him be on other teams. If he's on my team, I'll root for him. But like, he's not a guy that I'm like, I got to get Gary Trent. We got to get this guy.
I think that's the exact player that I'm looking for. Okay. A shooting guard.
The contract stuff makes sense. I get that.
Yeah, he's like fitting in nicely.
It feels like it would just be a trade just to make a trade, like just to say we did something. But it would be an upgrade over Terrence.
Right,
so
exactly.
In that aspect, I guess.
Yeah.
But I was hoping for like a better upgrade from Terrence.
Okay. You really don't like the Raptors. Pich doesn't like the Raptors. I think we're learning that.
It's not that I don't like the Raptors.
What about OG Anunoby?
It's the whole city of Toronto. Screw you, Maple Leafs. No, I just don't think they're they're built well. I think they're coached well.
Yeah.
I do like Nick Nurse as a coach. I think that's part of the reason they have anything going at all there.
Okay.
They just seem like they have a bunch of mid dudes.
Well, let's get some of those mid dudes over to us. I would love to have OG Anunoby at Sweet Chin Music from Ben here. He's suggesting some trade that sends Suggs and Bamba for OG Anunoby and Malachi Flynn. Now, that's not happening, Ben. You're going to have to include a bunch of first-round picks to get OG Anunoby away from the Toronto Raptors. That's a guy I'd probably be willing to give up 2 first-round picks for. I love the idea of having OG, Franz, and Paolo, 2 of those guys on the court at all times. I love that. And Pisha's hard passing. Okay.
The pass got stimulated and is now hard.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, what do you think we could work out with the Toronto Raptors? They have some interesting pieces.
Stay away from the Raptors.
They have some interesting pieces, Pish. And folks out there, second cousins, let us know in the comments of this Toronto Raptors segment, what do you think we should get and how much will we have to give up?
Unless it's a draft pick or Siakam, we are not interested in anything the Toronto Raptors have to offer.
Don't listen to him. Put it in the comments. Okay, Pish, maybe something I can get you excited about.
Another team.
Your favorite player, Pat Beverly.
Oh, Pat Bev.
This one was, it's posted by Orlando Magic HQ, but many of you probably saw Barbie Marx's extensive rundown of all the potential trades for teams. He suggested just pretty much a swap of Terrence Ross for Pat Bev and the second round Bulls pick from us.
I'm for that.
Yeah.
I'd rather have Pat Bev on the team than Terrence Ross. And if a second round pick is the kicker, all day. That doesn't even seem like that would work.
It would work, but the only thing is...
But I don't see why the Lakers would want to do that.
Well, they get more shooting. They get more shooting. Well, actually, no. Pat Beverly's been
Bev's a pretty good shooter, man.
He's been a pretty damn good shooter. I don't know what Bobby Marks, whatever you're smoking, dude.
I'm not really sure why a
Pass
guy
that
that's
shit
like
over here.
in the media, right, that's going to post stuff that like should have a little more credibility.
Yeah.
This seems like a fan theory on Twitter or like
it's a very lateral, like it seems like you're kind of just swapping.
No. This would be good for us.
Yeah.
Pat Bev is a dog. He's a fighter. He's
where's his contract?
his defense is way better than Terrence Ross. So you want to compare them on offense, they're somewhat comparable. On defense, he's insane.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay. The problem with that though, is that Patrick Beverly is just on a 1-year deal for $13 million with the Lakers, and he's an unrestricted free agent. So you're just
giving him for the rest of the season because T. Ross is going to be gone after the season as well. His contract is up.
Potentially.
So you get something for Ross. You get a chance to bring in Pat, see if he can inflict some of his,
some of that juice,
into the team. And get that he might be invigorated by playing with those young guys, and then decide I'm going to stick around and be a part of this. He could start as our 2 right now.
Yeah, I don't know. I still love Gary Harris, but
well, I love me some Harris too.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying it's a possibility, right? He's on the team.
You're
Terrence Ross isn't going to start for us.
You're making me slightly more intrigued. But
it's low risk for us.
It is low risk.
You're getting rid of something that you're going to pretty much lose anyway.
Yeah,
it just seems.
And we haven't done much with second round picks anyways. The Bulls pick though could be a top part of the second round.
I won't tell Caleb Houston that you just said that.
Well, hey, no, I love that we actually used the second round pick.
Right. Yeah.
But he was the first. Wasn't he the first pick of the second round or
he was near the top, yeah.
Yeah, he was up there. And I think the Bulls pick is probably going to be up near the top of that. So it's not a bad second round pick. That's going to be a pretty good second round pick.
I love it.
And I don't know if you do that just to have a chance of maybe wooing Patrick Beverly to stay. He's already 34. What, you're going to get 2 more, given on a 2-year contract? That would work with the timeline. That would work with the timeline of what we've been talking about with the contracts of Franz and Paolo looming. What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Bobby Marks smoking that good, and just off his rocker on this, or does this make sense? Are you kind of leaning now? Is Pich swayed you into thinking that this could be a viable option? Okay. Interesting. I was really cold on that, and you've kind of turned me around a little bit.
I like to warm people up.
All right. We've got a few more. Here we go. This one, Pish, You took this one from, shout out to @O-Town Wander Foltz. This guy has been posting a potential Orlando Magic trade that, as he says, Weltman will probably never do every day for like the past month leading up to the trade deadline. And this one here is between ourselves and the Clippers. We'd be sending out Terrence Ross, Mo Bamba, and RJ Hampton, and we'd be receiving Robert Covington, Luke Kennard, and a second-round pick. How are you feeling about this one, Pich?
Before I give my thoughts on how I feel about it, I do want to say I commend him for doing this every day.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Because it does. I've tried going into this trade thing, and sometimes it's just hard to make it work, right? Like it's tough to put the right guys and the right money and the right picks and stuff and have it actually go, this would work. So, props to you for getting in there and doing this every day. But no, I don't like this one because I don't like Luke Kennard. I don't know a lot about Robert Covington, but I can't believe it's not Robert Covington III. And I don't know. I don't know much about him. I'm not opposed to what we're sending out. I just don't feel like what's coming back is exciting me. Like I'm not like amped to see. I'm not ready to buy a Luke Kennard jersey. I'm not, you know what I mean? I'm not. I'm just not ready to I don't know.
What do you mean, dude? This is exactly what we're talking about. I know Luke Kennard looks like he just walked off the court at the Y, but we agreed that we need some scoring punch from the two, and Luke Kennard is shooting over 40% from three, man. He's one of the best shooters in the NBA.
Good shooter, 14.4, 3 years. I don't know. Not loving the contract. I'd like somebody that's a little more
14.4 per year.
I believe. I mean, just based on what I'm seeing here, that might be what it is. I just want somebody who's a little more able to ship off or have their contract run out sooner.
I mean, I think Luke Kennard would be a great addition to this team. I don't think the Clippers would agree to this at all.
No, probably not. Honestly,
no, this is.
I think that's the biggest hiccup here is that the Clippers would not be for it. The guy on the Clippers I want is Terrence Mann.
He's not. Is he on the Clippers still?
Is he not?
No, he's on the Oklahoma City Thunder now.
What?
I'm pretty sure.
I think you're thinking of Trey, man.
Oh, I'm thinking about Trey, man.
Woo! That's a different man.
Yeah. I like this trade because we're trading away two guys that, Mo Bamba's been getting DNPs and RJ Hampton's in the G League for two guys that would definitely be contributors off the bench. That's a huge win for us. We need some more scoring from our bench and some shooting on this team.
Yep.
So this would be good. I think Wander Foltz, you're onto something with this one. I really respect, too, I want to add on to Pich's accolades here for you. It was a great intellectual project. Like, it was a good thought experiment to do it every day. Yeah. It must have been fun. Thank you, sir, for your service to the Orlando Magic community.
Yeah, and I honestly don't like everything that's going out, but since we're not going to use RJ Hampton, might as well let him go be used by some other team,
right?
That will actually use him. So ordinarily, I'd think RJ Hampton is kind of what we're looking for almost, but it seems like we don't want to play him, or we've already given up on that project. So I might as well let him go get his somewhere else.
And you like Terrence Mann. I mean, I think that's a pipe dream. This kid.
It is. But I think we would get way less back. I think it would be like Terrence Mann, and then that would be about it. But I like him more than Covington or Kennard as far as getting a piece back from the Clippers. But
would you give up a pick in that trade?
I would give up a pick in that trade. I don't know if I'd give up all three of these guys at a pick for Terrence Mann, but I guess if that was what it took, I'd listen.
He's a young player. He could definitely mature with this team. And he is, according to Basketball Reference right now, trying to get those stats up for Connecticut, shooting 36% from beyond the arc, shooting close to 60% effective field goal percentage. So this guy is no slouch. Don't know too much about his game. You know more because you stay up late.
I was going to say, I've seen him play a lot. There's some games where he just legit can take over for the Clippers. He has the ability, so I think
the Clippers
for us.
The Clippers could be in a sell mode, man. They ever since they made the trades to get Kawhi and Paul George, everyone's been saying, "Oh, they're favorites for the championship."
You said it at the beginning of the season.
That was like 3 years ago. Yeah, well, I was just regurgitating things that I was hearing. They do have depth, but they're getting to the end of it where these older players, that you love because they have the veteran know-how to get deep in the playoffs. They know how to win. The other side of that coin is guys can start to break down, you know, and I think we're starting to see some of that happen. You know, it's a little bit over the hill now for Nicholas Batum, you know, and Kawhi has been on and off, and Paul George always seems to be injured. So we'll see. I don't know if they're going to be sellers. It's tough because their owner has more money than God.
Yeah, I was trying to remember who was having the conversation that Kevin Durant commented on. It was an ex-coach, and they were talking about how guys used to play more.
Yeah.
Like they'd play all 82 games. They'd play back-to-backs.
That was Van Gundy, I think.
Stan. It was Stan. Yeah.
It was Stan.
And it was a great take, and then Kevin Durant was like, Stan be spitting. And then Stan thought he was like talking shit because he doesn't understand the lingo. But like he backed him. And it was like, yeah, man, guys used to just go out and ball. Like if you turn over any of those Hoops 90s, 91 card and you see all the guys' stats, you'll see guys you've never heard of that played 80, 81, 82 games.
Right.
They played every day, you know, and they just were always out there. And he was just questioning, and I think rightfully so, that like by not letting guys do all this stuff all the time, are they not getting tough enough to be able to handle it? And that's why they need to take breaks so much. And that's why guys start sitting because they want to be rested for the playoffs and stuff like this. You build a certain like hardness by doing something over and over. It ain't fun necessarily all the time, but you definitely do get a grittiness and a hardness to you that I think more players in the NBA need nowadays. I think it would make, you know, a simple sprained ankle be like 1 game out instead of 3 weeks. But that's,
I don't know.
maybe I'm speculating, but it didn't used to be like
Dr.
that,
Pich.
right? And it was a tougher game back then because every foul was hard and you didn't get it. It wasn't a flagrant 2 and you're kicked out. I mean, the game was more rugged back then and they played more often. So now it's less rugged and they play less. So it's like,
Make it make sense.
make it make sense. Exactly. I like that Stan questioned it.
All right, we got to step out of the trade cage, Pich. We're already at an hour and 20 on this show. It's a monster. It's definitely above
Well, it's
average.
the center of the show.
Yeah. So
You can't hang a cage over the show and then not have it be the main event.
what do you think, ladies and gentlemen? What trades that we mentioned do you like? What do you think is off the wall crazy? Are there things that we haven't mentioned that you think the Magic should be looking for? Let us know in the comments.
Unless if it's Zach Lavine, just save that comment.
Yeah.
Right now, save it.
We had it on there and I just skipped it because I knew it was going to get Pich mad.
Good. That's why I made the hard pass sign.
Okay. Well, to pick your mood up from potential Zach Lavine trades, which is, I think, just ridiculous because they just re-signed him and I think that's their player. But let's go to the Kirk Cousins championship because that's going to put you in a better mood.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
Can you explain what your idea here is for the Kirk Cousins championship moving forward?
I will. So, you know, it was suggested by someone on YouTube comments, and I forgot who it was, but
Shout out to you.
Shout out to you. We commented on it, so it's under the last episode. An idea of us shooting it out somehow. Yeah. And I just loved that idea, right? Like there's a hoop behind you, there's a hoop behind me, a little Nerf hoop. Maybe that's the shootout. I kind of want to expand it. I want it to go a little further. So each month we'll set up a series of bets. It'll go for the whole month. So 2 shows.
2 shows.
And whoever wins of those 5 topics will then have the advantage and be able to select what game we play.
Okay.
Maybe it's the mini Nerf hoop. Maybe it's the mini Papa shot I have over here. Maybe it's us balling up paper and shooting it into a basket down in the kitchen.
Some NBA jams 1-on-1 at the arcade.
Anything.
Okay.
Anything's on the line, and whoever wins gets to set that advantage, and then we will also figure out some sort of a point advantage if need be. Like if we're going to do a free throw shooting contest over at the park, maybe you get 2 or 3. We'll have to agree on it, but there'll be some sort of advantage for the winner. And it'll involve us doing a little bit of extra shooting, maybe a little fun, but adding some actual element into it so that even if you don't win the bets, because, you know, one guy got injured or something, you can still come back and win it in the shootout. Okay. Because, you know, belts should be fought for and they should actually be something going on. So let's get active. Let's get out there.
You'll see, ladies and gentlemen, who's the Nikola Jokic, who has the talent and who works hard.
And of the 5 topics, I'll present 2, you'll present 2, and we will take the other topic from our Patreons.
Okay. So get on the Patreon and you'll select one of the topics upon which we will bet.
And whoever's the champion at the time will select the line for whatever thing you choose. So I think this is going to be interactive and fun, and I think the belt will stay on this side of the room.
A little zany, which is
It's gonna be
perfect for
fun.
us.
Exactly.
All right.
It checks all the
Okay.
boxes.
I had a
Starts
little
next
bit
week.
had a little bit of trepidation, but I'm on board. I'm ready to go. This is gonna be fun.
It starts next show. We'll have our bets out there. We'll lay them out, and then it'll go through. And then I think our first shootout's going to time out, so we can do it in Orlando. So
Let's do it.
maybe we can get the
Maybe one
Magic
of
to
you-
let us do it on the court. That'd be awesome. Hey, what if we don't cut the net down and we try to shoot out
it
first?
real quick. All right. Well, stick around, ladies and gentlemen, for the large ending. But again, I want to shout out all of our all-stars and second cousins on Patreon. You make this show go. Omid, Raphael, Breadhead, Wally, Al, Bernie, Matthew, Gloria and Damien, Yachty, Connor, and the Polish Wonder. And again, Court Cousins night, Thursday, February 23rd. Magic are taking on the Pistons. We got club level seats at a discount. We're doing giveaways of exclusive team gear. We're going on the court after the game to cut down the nets. Fivo.me/Court Cousins. And ladies and gentlemen, if you've been putting it off, please get those tickets now, because the way
month away.
that the app works is it's congregating a bunch of different groups that might be going that night.
Okay.
So we need our group to get in early so it can seat us in the same section together. Well, in the same seats, because it will just say the section, and the more people that come in, then it will give us the seat numbers.
All right.
So we need you to get in now so we can have the best seats together.
Oh.
And that will also give us more leverage when we're talking to the Magic about potential giveaways. So if we're going into the, a few days before Thursday, February 23rd, and there's only 10 of us that have bought tickets so far, but then, a bunch of people buy afterwards, that doesn't give us the leverage leading up to the show to be like, hey, give me a signed jersey. Give me a what can we get? What can we get? Because we need that negotiating power.
okay.
You know what I'm saying?
I like the idea of us somehow having leverage over a professional team.
Yeah. Well, it's a part. They're partnering. They're doing us a favor. But again, getting your tickets. If you plan on going, please get them now so that we can coordinate better with the Magic and with you and set up everything for that night. It's gonna be dope. Cool. Let's do it, Pich.
Sounds great. Yeah, I don't know how much more I have to greenlight this project.
All right, well, cue the music, Pich. We're going into the large ending. Pich, one of your most hated teams, if not the most hated team, the Grizzlies are the hottest team in the NBA. They've won 11 in a row. Are you softening your stance that they'll be humbled in an early exit in the playoffs?
No.
No?
I still want to see it happen. I don't know if it'll happen early, but I think even a second round would be a real disappointing one for them.
I'm considering second round early for them.
I think that could happen.
All right.
What do you think of this jersey? I got to get it.
Okay. Do. That is sick. I've been watching it all game. That thing is freaking dope. It's got the Expos colors in there. A nod to the Montreal Expos. That's why Pich is a Nationals fan, because he followed the Nationals from Montreal. That thing is sick.
This is number one pick, Yurov Slavkovsky.
Who just
this
got
is the
injured, though,
Paolo
right?
Banchero of the. Yes, he did just get injured.
Yeah.
But this is the Paolo Banchero of the Montreal Canadiens. And
That's
another
sick.
reaon I like this is inside the reverse retro. It actually says 1979.
Is that when the Expos were formed?
Oh, it's also when I was formed. No, the Expos were formed before that, but they wore light blue in 79. So it
okay.
goes back to 79, but I was formed in 79. So that's good.
Hell yeah. Next one, Pich, is you. No, that
I just
was
asked
me.
you about the jersey.
Okay. Cowboys are playing the Niners this weekend with a day less rest. A lot has been made of this. Pich, is this a foul play here?
Yeah, I don't love a Monday night playoff game.
Yeah.
I feel like that was unnecessary when there's a perfectly good Saturday and Sunday that can have 3 games each.
You know why.
But yeah, something happened. I don't think the one day less is going to really kill them, because they did give him the latest slot on Sunday.
Okay.
But I don't love it.
Yeah.
It's not fair. Caleb Houston went down to Lakeland, and he dropped 24. You think he's going to be down there for the rest of the season now?
I think it will depend on what happens at the trade deadline. I think he should be, if we don't have any drastic moves or we don't send out more players than we get back. I think he should be down there. We need him to get some burn. He's going to be an important piece potentially in the next few years. So let's let him work on that shot.
Agreed.
Let's do it. Pich, the Royal Rumble
Yes.
is around the corner. Who do you got winning the match?
Well, the odds makers may tell you to vote for Cody Rhodes,
Yes.
but I'm going to tell you right now, it's Sami Zayn. from Montreal, Sami Zayn.
Okay.
It's going to be good.
All right. Put your money on it, ladies and gentlemen. You can bet on the WWE now, right?
There are ways to bet on it.
Can you
by
bet on the
people who
winner?
are not sponsors of the show yet?
Okay.
So I won't mention them. But it is possible to bet on that stuff. What are you looking forward to? We're about a month away from going to
Yes.
Orlando. Obviously, we're doing great things with the show, and we're going to see
Yeah.
Magic games. But what else about this trip are you looking forward to? We've
Yeah.
talked about some possible things. but what is it?
I
What's the
mean,
real
I'm
meat and potatoes?
most looking forward to hopefully engaging with some of these folks that I've been talking to online and haven't been able to press the flesh yet. Pumped to see Yachty down there. We got a Jose Alvarado from our last Card Cousins numbered for him. Check out the Card Cousins box opening. See if we got a Paolo Banchero. We did. Go check it out. But other than that, I want to go back to that awesome card shop.
Yeah.
I'm really pumped about that. And let us know, ladies and gentlemen, in the comments, like, what should we've been going down to Orlando like once a year for our lives, not every year. But so like we don't really know. We're just dropping into your awesome city and then kind of getting out.
Right.
What are the haunts that we need to really check out that only the true locals know?
Has anyone been to Star Wars World? Is it good or not? Let us know in the comments. It is. We are debating it. It is a possibility.
Yeah, possibility. Huge Star Wars fan here. Peach is a big fan as well. But I don't know. It doesn't look worth it. Is it?
It doesn't seem worth it.
Please tell us.
I don't know.
Yeah,
but
I'm
I
not sure.
need to know.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, may the force be with you.
And also with you.
Until next time, it's been real. Thanks so much, Second Cousins out there. Peace.
Thanks for coming.